first half, first 65 minutes really until Cucho got the goal wasn't, I would say, the intensity probably you were looking for, but overall, how do you feel about the result, knowing how it went and then how you guys played down the stretch?
Yeah, I think with any game, there's good, there's a lot of good, and there's some things to improve, for sure. I agree, 100%. And I told the guys, we had a couple, 2 to 3 guys that didn't start the game with enough intensity and hunger. And it's a great reminder, and I talk about it all the time, doesn't matter who you're playing, doesn't matter where they're at in the table, every team in MLS is good enough on any given day if you don't have all 11 guys playing with hunger and intensity. I thought we had some guys that really started well and had intensity and had that hunger and looked like they were focused, and we had a couple guys that were casual. And that, I've said it to you guys, that is a very good team with a lot of talent, and we let them get into the game and score a goal, and you see when they're allowed to get into a game how talented they are. And so I think for me that needs to be better. That needs to be better. We have to start the game with 11 guys. And again, I'm not saying everyone. I'm just saying there are a couple guys that for me, and it's one thing to say that, but I'll tell you how I know. It's the set pieces. They were first to every set piece in the first half, both sides of the ball, and that's a sign. If we're getting beat to balls in the box, that our mindset and our hunger and our intensity and our toughness isn't what it needed to be. It happens sometimes with some guys, of course. They're humans. That's why we play the game. But I think it's a reminder again that if you don't start the game the right way and with that hunger and intensity, that you can get punched in the nose by any team. And this team for sure is talented enough. I love the way we battled back. That's a real positive. Our mentality again. We didn't get beat. So that mentality to keep fighting, to level, and then to go ahead. Really pleased with that. I thought the subs that came into the game, specifically Kevin Molino, did well. Will Sands, I thought, did well. Obviously, Josh and Aiden late. We needed a little bit of their work rate. I thought moving into that 3-5-2 actually ended up looking pretty good to close the game, and we got a couple of chances in transition because we could kind of, cheat Cucho and Lucas. So I thought that was a positive. And I think the final, for me, improvement area, again, is defensive set piece, right? And those are moments in every game, whether it's game 10 to go or, game 1 to go, or it's playoffs or it's MLS Cup final. Those are massive moments. And we got to be stronger and tougher on defensive set pieces. And we didn't get the 3 points because we didn't man mark and battle through and head the ball out. And so that needs to be better.
Was that intensity a bit of a surprise for you, given what we had talked about during the week, and you and
7, 8 guys were, but it was a surprise for a couple guys. Yeah, a couple guys were casual. A couple guys just like almost like they thought they'd stroll in and just win the game without fighting for it, and that doesn't happen in this league, especially against a team that's that talented. And that's disappointing for sure. And again, I have to think about why that happened with some guys, and ultimately that's why we have a squad as well. Because if you don't perform, if you don't start the game the right way, then and you're not consistently bringing that, then eventually we got to make some adjustments with personnel. So I think anytime you have a couple guys, even especially in moments, right, like you're gonna potentially give up goals.
Thomas. Thanks for the time, Coach. Appreciate it. You mentioned Atlanta is a talented team. They take a lot of shots on target tonight. Aloy had 8 saves coming his way. Is that simply just because Atlanta's such a talented team, or was there anything you were seeing missing on the defensive end that was giving Atlanta so many shots on target like they were?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's match state. You know, they get up a goal, and obviously now we have to open up and chase. And when you chase a game, you get at times a little more stretched than you would like. And you know, I thought that happened a bit at times. You know, so again, I got to look at the film, but yeah, they had too many chances on the day for sure. But I knew going into the game that they had the potential to do that and to create chances. And again, I think they gained a lot of confidence by getting that first goal.
And
You do know.
oh, go ahead.
I was just, you talked about confidence and you know, toughness the team kind of finally showed there in the second half. You always want to walk away with 3 points, but
Yep.
how relieved are you to at least walk away with 1 point after that first half?
Yeah, I don't know if relieved is a word. I mean, I'm happy again that our mentality has shown to be very strong for the last 13 games. I mean, you know, that's undeniable. Again, it's another game where, you know, we have to claw and fight and scrap, and we're down, and then, you know, we come back, you know, and we're up 2-1. But then again, I just want us to see out that set piece to get the 3 points. So I think that's what I'm going to be asking for out of the guys, is to start the game, 11 guys with intensity, hunger, and in those moments when our nose is in front and we battle back and we do all the right things, and the subs come into the game. Kevin Molino sets up the first goal. Will Sands sets up the second goal. Those are positives. Don't get lost on me. The comeback doesn't get lost on me. The fact that it's another game we're not beaten doesn't get lost on me. But I still want to see 11 guys hungry and playing with intensity, and I want to see on set pieces us be a little bit tougher. And so, you know, I'm pretty neutral today. Not mad, not happy. There's positives, there's things we got to improve in, and that's kind of how I'll approach it.
Thank you. The connection between Diaz and Cucho now. Diaz, I think that's his 3rd assist to Cucho specifically this year. And
Yeah.
coming into that goal, like Jacob asked earlier, there wasn't a lot of momentum for Columbus until that goal. How huge is it to have that real spark that can, both of them bring a lot of intensity and speed to the match? And now Diaz is kind of finding that pass in the final third. What does it mean to the team to have those two connecting like they are right now?
And again, another real positive is Cucho. I mean, just scoring 2 goals, and you know the form that he's in. I mean, he is every bit as good as we thought, and he's a massive, massive signing for us. And he showed his quality today. And you know, I'm disappointed we weren't able to get the 3 points, because I think, you know, his 2 goals and the performance he had will get lost in the shuffle somewhat because of it. But Luis is really turning a corner and evolved into a top player, where he's getting, you know, not just in great spots, but he's getting those crosses on the money. And that cross was a beautiful play. That was a great goal. I think it was Kevin in behind, right, and then so it's a great action. So I don't know why Atlanta's not higher up the table, but when I scouted them, I didn't care. I look at a team that could beat anyone on any given day, and they've shown that this year. And you know, I think our guys have to learn from that.
We've seen what this team can do when all 11 guys are playing well. New York City opening 20 against Colorado.
Yeah.
When you don't get that, does it make it a little harder? You're getting contributions from Luis, Will, all that, but does it make it a little harder relying on Cucho a bit when other guys aren't performing?
Oh, I think you're always going to rely on your striker to score. Always. You're always going to rely on. I mean, that's why they're there. They're there to score goals. So, you know, when you have a guy that good, he's impossible to stop, because he can score goals in many different ways. And I think he's shown that in all the, you know, different types of goals he's scored. But no, we're always going to rely on your striker. It's your striker, your 10, and obviously your wingers who are going to create goals. And typically it's your 9 and 10, always, if you look around the league, are the ones that are scoring the goals. Best teams, those are the guys you have to rely on. So it's great that those guys are performing.
When you go 13 games with 1 loss, you talked about the guys kind of strolling out there today in the beginning.
Just a couple guys.
Yeah.
A couple
But
guys.
How do you make sure the mindset of the team isn't, you know, you talk about not getting too high and not getting too low. How do you make sure you're right in the middle of that?
I think it's just the mindset of the individual player, you know. I didn't see that out of Cucho to start the game. I didn't see it out of Lucas to start the game, you know. I didn't see it out of Jonah, you know, or Milos, you know. So for me, the mentality to be ready to play a game and to be sharp and to be focused and to be hungry, that's in the mind of a player, you know, and I'm there to stimulate that. But at the end of the day, the player has to be ready to play, and no matter what I say. I mean, I'm a motivator. I'm always talking about how, you know, we need to do this or that, and I'm stimulating. But at the end of the day, it's on the player to be focused and ready, and to be ready to battle. And in the moment, when we're up 2-1 on the corner kick, you know, I wish I could call a timeout, bring them in, and it's soccer. They have to, in that moment, be ready to battle and mark the guy and put your, you know what, on the line. Put your face on the line, break your face, right? That we need that in those moments. And I think, you know, I can remember a head that Milos headed out that saved the game. I mean, so for me, a top player is always ready, and there's very little dip psychologically. And if you're a player that's up and down in a roller coaster, you know, that's not good. You know, some guys need to work on that over time. We work on that with them, but ultimately that's why some guys are top players and some guys are inconsistent. You know, and I think we got to get 11 guys that are going to be more consistent.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.